feel like sometimes I need rest because I just want to live too fast about myself. Just 1% better than yesterday. So I want to do this today. But I have finished my writing. I will practice speaking, listening, and reading a little bit. So I will practice listening, reading, and speaking. Yeah. So right now I just want to learn more about myself, and that is feel, live in the city.
Get on the screen, I'll see you. Really dancing. I was dancing. Yeah.
And to create more of what we're saying it is that we want, we have to remember what we have. You want more, you want change in your life, you want something different, remember what you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter how many dreams you make come true. The human mind is always looking for problems to solve, to fixate on. It's easy to become destabilized, to become distracted, to become so pessimistic that all these ideas seem foolish. But when we allow ourselves to overconsume so much to the point that we no longer wish to create, remind yourself what you are grateful for having. Remind yourself what has brought you here. Remind yourself of the air that you're breathing. Remind yourself of the body that you have. Remind yourself of the great times that you have experienced and that you will experience again. When you're in that state of mind, nothing can really get you down. Like, even if there are difficulties and problems, like there always will be, nothing can really steer you away from moving towards what you want, because you are aware and grateful for what you have, for the blessings you have, for the things that have come up and that will continue to come. Everything changed when I started implementing gratitude into my life in a way that I hadn't before. Okay, and I can feel people being like, okay, I've heard this before, be grateful, whatever. Yes, I know that we hear it all the time. Oh, count the things you're grateful for. Think about what you're grateful for. Have a gratitude journal. This is repetitive, okay? I think it is repetitive for a reason. In my family's religion, you're meant to pray 5 times a day. Am I perfect at that? Absolutely not, by no means. But I have an app on my phone that goes off at all of the prayer times a day. And I'm not telling you to pray, okay? I will never be out here pushing religion onto you in any form. That is not what I'm saying. But I bring it up as the point of a reminder, right? I have that app and it's a reminder for something. Praying, religion, spirituality, everything, it looks different for every single person. I'm more so talking about it as a moment of intention, a moment of grounding, a moment of reminding myself what I am thankful for, and maybe what I would like to continue to grow in my life, what I'm working towards, what are my intentions, what are my beliefs, and what am I glad to have in my life. And us human beings are so sensitive. One thing being sacrificed or taken from us can change our entire life experience. And I found that a lot of the time, we don't really count our lucky stars. We don't really feel that immense sense of gratitude or thankfulness until something has been taken from us and maybe given back to us, or maybe that's in the form of our health or an experience or a person, I don't know. But I have found myself not really practicing or remembering to be grateful for things unless, yeah, they are taken from me, or I'm reminded of how easily they can be taken from me. I don't blame us, because this is just sort of the way of humans, and we kind of just do things as we go, and we don't always really reflect on how lucky we are. We have a tendency to always focus on what we're lacking, what we don't have, what we wish that we had more of, how we're not where we want to be. I don't blame us. I think our minds naturally have that inclination because we're always looking to create new experiences for ourselves, create new things, create a new life. You know, we talk about that so much on this channel, but I think it's often really easy to disregard everything we do have. It wasn't until I had this little daily reminder on my phone to do something 5 times a day, to remember to go back to this. Sometimes it's 3 times a day. Sometimes it's once a day. Sometimes it's not at all. Every day is different. I try to keep things consistent, but sometimes it's not perfect, and life isn't perfect, and we want to just focus on the things that are going wrong or the things that we're worried about. I get it. I understand. I try to set aside a small moment of time, okay? That is how I've found that these habits work best for me, is whenever I make it so short and easy. I'm not telling you to start a gratitude journal. If you want to, that's great. I'm not even telling you to write a list and sit there. You don't even have to do that. But just a little alarm on your phone once a day to remind you to take 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes if you have it, to come back to those things that you're grateful for, to remember why you're here, that you're sitting in a vessel that is breathing, that is seeing. Okay, some of you might be like, okay, she's too much, but I'm telling you, we skip over it. Our heart does not skip a beat, okay? Our body is constantly working to keep us alive. We don't even have to think about it, so we disregard it. We treat it badly. We judge ourselves. We criticize the way that we look. We continue to move about life and don't acknowledge how beautiful these inner workings are that we don't even have to touch. We don't have to do anything to keep the sun from coming up and going down, to keep our bodies breathing. These things allow us to live life. If you're lucky enough to have people that love you, a partner that loves you, friends that love you, a family that loves you, one family member that loves you, one friend you can talk to, these little things are huge in the grand scheme of things. And like I said, we don't usually think about it until it's ripped away, or until it's gone, or until things are put into perspective. Maybe I have an interesting perspective because I grew up with a family that was always like, oh, well, we didn't have that, or I didn't have that, or it could be so much worse. And I'm not really saying that's a healthy mindset. You know, children of immigrants will understand it's not really the most fun to have that message running through your brain. But I think that the way that I've sort of internalized it and understood it is I'm lucky to have absolutely everything I have, whether that is this chair, my camera, a voice to speak to you. Like, these are things that, like, I just go to bed. I could just go to bed and not think about it, and just think about what's wrong, what am I worried about, what's not enough, oh, this is a concern, this is a concern, this is a bad thing. I'm not telling you to brush all your problems under the rug, but I'm telling you that there is a lot to be thankful for, okay? And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, why am I being thankful? Why do I have to think about these things? What's the point, right? People are not joking when they talk about how important gratitude is. It's not just so that we can sit there and feel a little grateful for the things that we have. It's because when we are living in a constant state of gratitude, It's hard for things not to go our way. It's hard for things that we are thankful for to not grow into even more. Okay guys, so I wanted to do something sort of fun with this video. I always like to include you guys in the conversation because I can only say so much, you know? This is not all about me, it's about us. We're on this journey together. I've been thinking about how gratitude and being intentional in these ways has changed my life and the way that I live. But I was curious about the things that you guys would say. What has changed your life? Somebody said, my best friends, the beauty of friendships and love. Standing up for myself. Mostly positive self-talk and true female friendships. Letting go and accepting the reality. To stop feeling bad for myself. Courage. And I'm serious, if we are living in a state of, oh, I'm so thankful for this body, I'm so thankful for this day, watch what goes your way. Watch what happens when you are grateful, okay? Watch what happens when you count your blessings. More will begin to appear. And I'm not just saying that, okay? And that's why I even wanted to make a video about this, is because like I told you, I'm usually one to quickly write off that advice and be like, okay, yeah, I'm thankful, I have a good life, whatever. What's the next problem, okay? But that is no way to live, because the problems, they never stop, okay? One comes, the next is here. You solve that one, there's this thing to worry about. It doesn't matter how good life gets. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter how many dreams you make come true. The human mind is always looking for problems to solve, to fixate on, and to be honest with you, we continue to create one of them because of that. Look at the state of our world, okay? It's embarrassing to be a part of this country. It is depressing to see what is happening to the citizens of this country. It is a really, really disappointing, scary time, okay? And going on social media during these times, it is literally like, it feels like I'm going to die. Sorry, that's maybe dramatic, but going on TikTok, seeing the news, seeing the brain rot, seeing the trends that are getting recycled over and over again, like, I can't do it, man. It actually feels like it's ruining my health physically, mentally, and I know that we know these things, and I know that we know overconsumption is not good for us, but with the amount that is happening in the news right now, we have to stay aware. We have to stay educated if we want to make some sort of change. But also at the same time, I think it's extremely unnatural to be consuming so much information, let alone catastrophic, negative, disheartening information, okay? In times like these, if we are not counting the things that we still have, that we would like to grow more of, the good things in our life, the positive things in our life, the things that bring us health, grounding, regulation, safety, if we're not focusing on these things, we're gonna lose sight of them. If we are only focused on the destruction, the hardship, the heartbreak, the problems, the limitations, the fear, that is what our experience becomes. We continue to focus on that and grow more and more of it. And I'm not saying to not look at it. We must look at the destruction that is happening if we want to make a change. But in order to keep our hearts safe and to keep our empathy alive, like, we don't want to become numb, okay? I see a lot of us becoming numb, and it's really scary. Even children become so overstimulated, constantly having access to the internet, to information, to TikTok. Like, I know this is just our culture now, but it's really, like, gross. I'm sorry if I'm being too opinionated here. I try to keep a broad perspective, but I don't like the way that things are going. I don't like how overstimulating it has become. I don't like how easy it is to overconsume, and I don't like what it's doing to my heart, to my brain, how numb I'm becoming, how easy it is to look past horrifying things that are happening in the world because you just see it every day. We're not supposed to become numb to these things. We're not supposed to look past it. You're not supposed to not care because it's not affecting you. The whole message behind my show, my channel, my creations is that we are on this journey together. We are having a collective experience no matter how different our circumstances may be. And I don't think that we should become numb to the things that we don't like, to the things that bring us to a state of unhealthiness or dysregulation. I don't think we should accept these things. I don't think that we should just accept this as a new normal. I think that we should always believe in the fact that there is a possibility to change, and that there is light, and there are things to continue to be grateful for, even when we are in the face of so much destruction happening. We can create anew in the face of the fire, in the face of warfare, in the face of destruction. Sorry, I'm really going on like an Aquarian speech here of how humanity will crash and burn so that it can be reborn. I feel like we've watched this pattern happen so many times, but I've talked to a lot of older people who have witnessed a lot of history and changes in history, and they have said that they've never seen anything like this, that they've never seen my country or the state of the world in such chaos, in such dysregulation, in such intelligence in a scary way. Like, oh guys, it's overwhelming, okay? And it has made me depressed, to be honest with you. I found that like I have sort of reached a state of numbness, of depression, and I don't want to stay here, you know? Like, and I found that kind of one of the only things to break me out of this depression is actively reminding myself what I'm grateful for, and not just stopping there, truly letting myself feel the impact of the things that I am so thankful to have in my life. And like I said, you don't have to do this 5 times a day. You could do this once a day. You could do this once a week, and I'm sure that it would have some sort of impact. But just truly, in whatever way works for you, maybe you're putting on music and you're relaxing and you're taking 30 seconds or a minute to just think about those things. Like I said, maybe you're speaking them out loud, maybe you're writing them down. But remember what you are grateful for. Remember what you do have. Remember what could easily be taken away from you. And don't get afraid of that, but feel thankful that it's not, and that it hasn't been, and that it probably won't be. A lot of us are in very, very privileged circumstances, and we just disregard it. And that's sort of the mentality that I grew up around, right? I'm not saying we should constantly be thinking, oh, I'm so lucky that I have this, some people don't have this. We don't need to be constantly living in that state of comparison, but just remember how lucky you are and how beautiful what you have truly is, even when it doesn't feel like it in the face of so many issues, collectively, personally, whatever. You are here right now, and that is a huge blessing, even if it doesn't feel like it.
A mental breakdown, which then allowed me to leave my abusive relationship for good. Journaling, reconnecting with my childhood hyperfixations, being quiet, being comfortable with silence, getting sober, camping at national parks, beautifying the simplest to the biggest things in life, meditation, my girlfriend, my very own decision to change it.
So many people would do anything to have the chance to be able to stand up, to be able to use their 5 senses, to be able to interact with the world around them in the way that you do. And not just that, you are here because you have a purpose, you have a gift. You're meant to share that with this world. At one time, when I was really sad a few years ago, it honestly might have even been when I was like 18 years old. I think I was very young. One time I was just feeling like, what's the point? This can sort of happen when the world is falling apart, when our personal lives are falling apart. I was having a moment like that. And I remember I just wrote I think there was like 150 things. I just kept pushing myself to keep writing down things. Even if it was so small, I would write down everything that brought me joy in this life. Everything that I was grateful to have had or to have had experienced. I was writing down different favorite fruits of mine, favorite family members of mine, favorite concert experiences I could remember, favorite books that I had, favorite tastes, favorite flowers, favorite pillows, favorite people, favorite songs, favorite plants, favorite places, things that I'm looking forward to, right? Sometimes it is mandatory to remind ourselves of these things because it can so easily be left behind. Remind yourself what you are grateful for having. Remind yourself what has brought you here. Remind yourself of the air that you're breathing. Remind yourself of the body that you have. Remind yourself of the great times that you have experienced and that you will experience again.
travel. When I realized destiny is a lie and you can transform your life with your actions, holistic healing, just doing it, making things happen for myself, loving women, allowing myself to not be perfect, stopped living my life like men do / respecting my cycle, a digital detox, journaling, Louise Hay's book called You Can Heal Your Life, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Such a good one.
Things changed so much when I started implementing gratitude in a way that was easy for me. I don't always have time to write a big list like that, okay? And I don't even know where that list is, to be honest with you. When I set a reminder on my phone, I do have 30 seconds to sit there, to remember what I am grateful for, to be thankful for what I have, to remind myself of my intentions, and to keep going. Have it easy. How can I implement? You don't have 30 seconds. Please, I'm really grateful that spoken from you and at the time. In order to move through this life, to move through difficulties, and to create more of what we're saying it is that we want, we have to remember what we have. In order to create more, you want change in your life, you want something different, remember what you have. Remember that little feeling of success or of happiness or of gratitude in your life, and you will continue to grow it the more that you focus on it. I always say that it starts with our mindset, right? And it just really goes back to that. If you're saying that there's something that you want in your life, remember a time that you had felt it before. For example, a dream of mine is to perform my poetry all over the world to all different types of crowds, and to be a performance artist in this way with my spoken word, with my writing. And that's just a dream I have in my head, and I have experienced it to some degree. Instead of saying I haven't really ever performed to a huge crowd before and it's sort of a niche thing and how is that ever going to happen? I'm pretty far from where I want to be. No, okay? I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to think about the times that I have been lucky enough at open mics even. I have done a few small shows for my writing, but before any of that, before I had any sort of audience or platform, I would go to open mics and I would push myself to read, and that feeling of the crowd clapping for me, I can remember that. I can be grateful for that experience and imagine what that would feel like on an even grander scale. I can be so thankful that I experienced that and for all that is to come. Be grateful for the blessings that you have now and that you have experienced and the ones that are on the way, and I promise you that is going to bring them pretty quick. If you can implement gratitude for all the things that you have now, you're going to grow more and more and more of it. You're going to grow more of that sensation. You're going to grow more of that gratitude. You have to think of it like whenever you are in a state of gratitude, people say that that's like the highest vibration to be in, right? When you're in that state of mind, nothing can really get you down. Like, even if there are difficulties and problems, like there always will be, nothing can really steer you away from moving towards what you want, because you are aware and grateful for what you have, for the blessings you have, for the things that have come up and that will continue to come. Holding and sustaining this state of gratitude is a practice, and whenever I'm depressed, I'm actively not embracing that sense of gratitude. I'm not claiming that this is the cure to depression. I am not stating that. I am not a mental health expert whatsoever, but I'm just speaking from my own personal experience, and the times that I get very depressed and numb to the state of the world, to my own state of being, whatever, is when I'm not coming back to a sense of gratitude, when I'm not counting the things that I'm thankful for and really sitting in that and remembering that and grounding myself in that. I honestly I avoid it when I'm depressed. I don't want to think about those things. I just want to think about the issues and stay in this state of stagnancy and misery, and I don't want to actively practice coming back to what I'm grateful for. But I'm telling you, it takes 10 seconds sometimes to just get back into that state.
Learning that life happens from you and for you, not to you. Poetry. Staying present and understanding my controllables. Friendship. Not grabbing my phone first thing when I wake up. Journaling. Whenever I don't journal, I really notice the difference. Therapy. Surrendering to the unknown, letting go of control. waking up early and being with myself for the first hour without screens. Thank you guys for sharing those answers with me.
Coming back to what I'm grateful for has changed my life for the better and has helped me continue to move through when things are discouraging, when I would rather turn to other things to numb me. If I would rather stay in the stagnancy, I have to remember why I'm here, how lucky I am to be here, what I may take for granted every day, and what I am so grateful for, and what I wish to grow more of. What is my intention? You know, if we can kind of just have these moments of resetting, of washing our brain a little bit, think of it as like some sort of mental hygiene, being able to wash our mind and give ourselves a little moment to slow down. And I don't speak of any of this lightly of, oh, let's be grateful, let's have peace. No, I think it's mandatory and necessary to come back to what we're grateful for if we're going to get through times like these. Whether it's collective, personal, I don't care. If you want to get through hardships and difficulty in your life, we have to remember what we are lucky to have, the things that keep us going, the strength that we have, the gifts that we hold, and how we would like to move forward. Sorry that this is a slightly shorter episode than usual, guys, but like I said, I've been a little sad. I've been a little down in the dumps, and sometimes it feels silly to continue making things or having conversations when I feel this way, but really the biggest thing that has helped me get through is reminding myself what I'm lucky to have, what I'm grateful for. And if I didn't have a reminder on my phone to do that, I would be skipping it every day. I would continue to look past it. But I'm sharing this with you because of how important it has been to me and for my mental health and continuing to get through. And it's something that I'm not perfect at, like I said, but when I am consistent with it, when I do make the time, it changes the way that I move through this life. It changes the way that I handle difficulties. It changes who I am in the face of hardship. It reminds me of my intentions moving forward and what blessings and gifts that I do not wish to take for granted, and that I am very privileged to have, things that the ones before me didn't have, things that others around me may not have, and how and what a disservice it is to take my body for granted, to take my brain for granted, to take my ideas for granted, any of this for granted. What a disservice it is to myself, to my ancestors, to people around me who maybe don't have the same privileges and wish that they did. What a disservice it is not to recognize how lucky I am and to use these things to my greatest advantage. I take these moments, these reminders on my phone to come back to what is important, to remember what I have, to remember what I wish to grow more of. This keeps me strong, this keeps me healthy, this keeps me grounded in a world that I don't think we're supposed to be any of those things right now, really. And it's easy to become destabilized, to become distracted, to become so pessimistic that all these ideas seem foolish. But I think that is succumbing to what we don't want. I think that's succumbing to chaos. When we let ourselves become destabilized, when we allow ourselves to overconsume so much to the point that we no longer wish to create, we no longer wish to live in a state of gratitude or make positive change or create things that we're proud of. If we want to stay awake, alive, healthy, continue to be someone that we are proud of being, and continue to become somebody that we are proud of, we have to remember what's important. And I don't know what's important to you. I don't know what you're grateful for. I don't know what grounds you and regulates you and that you might be taking for granted on an everyday basis. That is up to you. So that's why I want you to set this reminder on your phone. That's why I want you to have this moment, whether it's 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, I don't know. But please, it is more important than ever right now. I feel very called to tell you this. I don't think any of my dreams would come true without a sense of gratitude. Have a moment every day to return to this. I promise you, it will do wonders in the face of difficulty, in the face of moving towards what you want. There's a reason why it's repetitive advice. There's a reason why people tell you to be grateful, to be thankful. It's because it can change your entire state of being, how you move through the world, and the results that you get in return. So, yeah, thank you guys for chatting with me today. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you for being here. I will see you very, very soon. Bye. Don't wait for the world to grant you your wishes. You grant them yourself. You create them. You fulfill them. You find ways. If you continue to come back to that discipline and that love for yourself and your craft, and you continue to commit to what it is that you want, nobody can take that away from you. Keeping ourselves stuck or scared of what? Failure? Okay, let's get to know that. Let's fail quite a few times so that we can come out of it stronger, better, wiser, more equipped, like a different version of ourselves than we were before. You cannot give up the first few times it doesn't feel good, or the first few times that nobody sees your post or your art, or when it's scary and embarrassing, or when someone makes fun of you. Taking a chance on yourself, you can't stop when it gets hard, when it's not immediately granting you that security. It's something that you must continue to believe in and to feed and to grow. My external circumstances, what I wanted, didn't live there. What I wanted lived within me, and I knew that I could grow that and bring that into my experience on the outside. It sounds crazy and so like metaphysical and strange to say that you can create another world in your mind and bring it to reality, but you actually can, because these dreams, I'm not just stumbling upon them. These things that are happening, they already happened up here. They happened in here. And the more that you continue to come back to what's in here, the more it's going to show up out here. And it is amazing to witness. But it doesn't even feel crazy when it happens, because you're already familiar with it in your mind, in your heart, and everything will follow suit. If you can picture it and you can feel it, it can be real. Okay. Hi everybody, and welcome to this episode of Flowering Philosophies. I am your host, Anaya, and today I am greeting you here on my family's porch in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. A camera will never do justice. I tried to do these sights and these views justice through my video work, showcasing it on YouTube, everything, but the things my mind, my eyes, my senses have witnessed this past week and any time that I'm here, it's just extraordinary. It's something that I can't even put into words. It feels like such an absolute dream to be here and to be able to stay and travel here and to do my work simultaneously. Mountains, forests, and flowers. That is what I have been so excited about. Is we are currently nearing the end of dahlia season, and I was able to look up and easily find a dahlia farm nearby. So me and my cousins, I'll have a vlog of all of these beautiful sights that I'm talking about. Everything that I've witnessed the past few days, I think deserves to have its own moment. So you will see the vlog of the flower farm and being in literally my absolute dream. Yesterday, I was just relaxing in the midst of the most lily pads I have ever seen. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that is just what life is like here. Like a fairy tale. I was so thrilled to get to go to this flower farm. I made my little cousins go with me, and we had a really wonderful time just picking flowers and enjoying the beautiful day. They've been in water for the past like 24 hours, but I wanted to trim them up, get the leaves off, have them looking a little bit happier so that my family here could enjoy them and I could leave them with some sort of keepsake that could enchant the home with some love and color. That is what I'm doing this morning. I'm literally about to hop on a plane and go back home, but I wanted to quickly make this arrangement and chat with you. There's nothing that I specifically wanted to relate to. Also, you're gonna have to excuse my morning voice. I've seen some comments, okay? I try not to read the comments all the time, but I've seen some comments about my low voice and how it's okay to have a feminine voice. Okay, this is what my voice sounds like. I have a deep voice. I've always kind of had a deep voice. People say I have vocal fry. I'm learning. I am becoming a performer with my poetry, and how I speak and present myself, it's very unique to me. So I like my voice, okay? I'm learning to love my low voice, so you're not gonna make me dislike it, because I've come to terms with what I sound like here. I had a very busy past few weeks. Whenever I was in Los Angeles, I was planning for my first live event and performance ever. I did that, and it was a lot of work, and it was so beautiful. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I feel so grateful for everybody who was there. I feel so grateful for everyone who has supported and listened to my poetry collection, and for the friends that I have to do this with and to work alongside. It's such a blessing. Oh, what a dream, but it actually is my dream come true. And I've been reflecting on that a lot of how do you even comprehend that, and what is next, and how do you not self-sabotage? Because a lot of the time when things are going, the crows are speaking. But a lot of the time we say we want something, but we don't actually mean it, because what we're saying we want requires a certain level of breaking down and reconstructing.
You get, okay. Ok. Sao tuổi? Con ơi, mẹ mang con đến cho mẹ học được. Rồi chị trả kết quả cho sale sau nhá. Em chỉ cần trả cho chị bạn lấy về thôi. Ngồi đây con ơi. Con là học lớp con mấy tuổi nhỉ? Con 6 tuổi là về này, con học tiếng Anh đâu rồi? Rồi ngồi đây. Làm này cho cô nha. Lấy bút ra. Cho cả con một tí. Cho một bút nha. Rồi cho cô xin tên con là gì? Hiểu Vinh. Rồi 6 tuổi rồi, cô cho một bút nha. Tí trả cô nha. Rồi ngồi xuống này. Ngồi xuống. Mang lên cho cô nào. Con không hiểu chỗ nào. Đâu? Em này. Con dog, đúng. Con gì đây con? What is this?
Dog.
Thế con gì đây?
Con sư tử.
English, what is this? Lion.
Lion.
Lion. Mắng khỉ nối. Con hai chỗ này con nối nốt cho cô. Mà bạn, con ghi tên con ra đây nha. Là gì đấy? Các letter A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Chỗ này còn trống con điền vào chữ. Con làm hết toàn này cho con nha. Rồi, ok, mình về làm.
Requires a level of looking at ourselves closely and identifying the hurt that is there, the pain that is there, the things that we must move through in order to get to that other side. I know what it feels like to complain every second of the day and to only see the things that you hate about your life. I'm so passionate about making these videos and continuing this podcast because you don't have to live like that. And people will tell you you have to, that you only have this choice or that choice, and that you have to go down this path, or you need to please others in this way, and that life can't be satisfactory. And I know that all of us have different circumstances, so it's always sensitive for me to speak on topics like this. But just from my own experience, the ways that I have changed my mind have changed my entire life in a short amount of time, due to commitment and consistency, not perfection. Whoa. But I don't always want to give all the personal details away here, but you would not believe what my life looked like a few years ago. My dream in this life was to write my poetry, meet beautiful people through it, travel the world, and do my job at the same time, be able to do that for a living and to grow and to cultivate more understanding and community. And I am doing that. And it's not because anyone showed me how to do it or expected me to do it or encouraged me even to do it. I did it because I decided I would not be satisfied doing anything else. And I was doing other things for a long time. And it's not because I wanted to, but it's because I believed, oh, this is what I need to do in order to be safe, to be secure, to be worthy, to be liked. And I'm so grateful to have had some sort of inkling inside me to say, no, let's throw away the idea of ourselves or trying to be liked by every single person and thing and keeping ourselves stuck or scared. Scared of what? Failure? Okay, let's get to know that. Let's fail quite a few times so that we can come out of it stronger, better, wiser, more equipped, like a different version of ourselves than we were before. It's been very scary that if I didn't look my fear in the eye, I would not be sitting here today saying, oh, my dreams have come true. I can't believe I get to say that statement. The way that I committed to my daydreams is what has brought me here. Every moment that I had, that I could, whether that was at my 9-to-5 job or my retail or being in an environment or a community or a place or a relationship that didn't feel good, in any of those moments, I continued to go back to not what was out here, but what was in here. And it might sound cheesy, but it's not. Like, I truly cultivated. There was a clip that I saw on Instagram. I'm gonna insert it here. It might sound outlandish, and even the comments are saying like, oh, I hope that this spirit comes back to our times, and this is so lost on us now. But like, it does not have to be lost. It sounds crazy and so like metaphysical and strange to say that you can create another world in your mind and bring it to reality, but you actually can, because these dreams, I'm not just stumbling upon them. Yeah, of course, like, it's revealing itself to me in a way that is so beautiful and fun to discover and unfold, and life is unpredictable and exciting. But these things that are happening, they already happened up here. They happened in here. I would close my eyes and continue to ground myself back in these worlds that I created in my head. I'm giving you the secret to life right now. It's just a matter of how much you want to believe in that and how much you want to stay consistent in that. Going back to, there's so many methods and forms of this. Like, obviously, there's a lot of like new age spirituality these days that talks about manifestation and the law of attraction. Like, I don't really want to use language that could box me in to a certain niche or idea or ideology, because I'm discovering my own philosophy. I'm creating my own philosophies, whether that is something that I'm pulling from a core of a religious belief or something that I do see kind of more modernized or talked about, whatever. It's just tools and knowledge that I'm acquiring that feels aligned to me and my personal journey. And that is what I encourage any of you to be doing as well. If something doesn't feel right to you in your heart and your soul and your spirit, look into it. Look into different ideas, different books, different words, different people, different cultures, different things. Like, there's so much to learn in this life and so much to understand and process as we move through our own feelings. And I think I've been able to become strong-footed in my own philosophies by sitting with myself and understanding myself and exploring myself through what makes me feel understood or excited, through art and through philosophies and through taking care of myself, self-care. All of these things have brought my dreams to fruition because I knew that my external circumstances, what I wanted, didn't live there. What I wanted lived within me, and I knew that I could grow that and bring that into my experience on the outside. And that's a really beautiful feeling to come to terms with, because once you realize that you are the reason for your magic and you can bring that anywhere, you're not as afraid of losing people or material things or places, because you realize that whatever grounds you within yourself, within what you believe and what brings you back down to earth and makes you joyful and peaceful and happy, that can go with you anywhere, and that can live within you and your dreams. And there are ways to manifest that into your reality by affirming it to yourself, by believing in it, by coming back to it over and over again. I don't know, and that's why I say, like, do we really want it that bad? Because there were times where I didn't really want this to be my life that badly. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle doing a job on the go and filming things on the go and the confidence to put myself out there. I was not ready for that for a long time. Even though I was saying that was my dream and that's what I wanted, it took a myriad of lessons and understanding and mistakes and hardship and excitement and different experiences to get to where I am today and to be the person that I am today. And I'm excited to continue to change and to continue to grow, but I am also having this period of reflection now, or at least allowing myself to. I always like to just kind of worry and move on to the next thing and think about what's next, but I really wanted to take this time visiting here to take it in and to say, wow, this all lived in our wildest dreams and fantasies at one point, and we have done the commitment and the consistency and the work, even if it didn't look perfect and it was not pretty. We did it to the point that this is real, this is reality. I'm so grateful that this dream of mine has come true, but also it's not just like I was running, and then I reached the finish line. It's like, no, the whole journey that brought me here, even the moments that I was not wanting to live through, I'm so grateful for those. And it's all part of the path. It's all part of the journey. Any setback we have can be the thing that propels us forward. Yeah, so I don't know, like, getting more practical with my speaking here, I guess what I really did in every moment that I felt discomfort, I just tried to, I've relayed all of this to you guys throughout my episodes, but every time that I would experience something that I didn't want, or a feeling within my body or my life, I would just pay attention.
So
I
right
would
now
pay
I'm
attention to the
working
things
on
that
teaching.
didn't quite sit right. I would try to
Today I don't have to
intuition,
teach. I just have to
peace
pass
and
the
grounding
student, and
what
now
makes sense to
I'm
me. I just continue to pay
waiting
attention,
for my
stay
staff.
aware of what I did like and what I didn't like. By paying attention and being aware, I was able to see what I didn't want and what I did want in my life. Knowing what you do want, that's a big blessing. I don't know everything that I want. I don't know like my plan and how things are going to unfold, but I knew my dream in my heart, that childhood dream, the thing that brought me so much joy and fulfillment. I knew what that was. And if you have that and you know what that thing is, you're lucky. You're lucky because sometimes it takes people an entire lifetime to come to terms with the fact that that is their dream or the thing that they love or the thing that they're going to take some time to prioritize. If you know what that is and you're daring to make that a part of your life, even if it is just as your hobby, the fact that you're prioritizing what brings you peace and fulfillment and joy in this life, it's something that I don't really think we're always encouraged to do, and also something that does require bravery, commitment, and consistency, even through the times that it's not perfect. And there were times that I thought,
Từ nào không biết thì con bỏ
everything
qua.
as a writer, I'm
Đâu
never
có
going to
thể nào.
create anything or a body of work that I'm proud of or put it out into the world. I can't tell you how many
Không biết
times
à?
I doubted that, and the people around me too.
Pháp.
Like, if you're not doing anything, then other people are going to be like,
Không biết thì bỏ
okay,
qua.
like, yeah,
Biết
you're
thì
not making your dreams come
Pháp.
true. Like, there were so many moments of
Con chưa học
doubt
thôi.
in my orbit, in my life, in my mind, when it came to my aspirations or this ridiculous fantasy or dream life that I was describing to myself or people around me. But if you can picture it and you can feel it, it can be real. It's just not fair for people to think that they have to live according to their external circumstances only. I know that that plays a factor in where our mind is at, where our body is at. I swear to you, I would have not been able to make the changes that I've made in this life if I didn't go in, if I didn't look inside and find that dream, cultivate that dream, cultivating that ridiculous scenario, scripting about it, writing down affirmations that I wanted to be true, things that felt outlandish but brought me excitement and comfort and peace, whether I was, picturing it like sourcing it from a version of me in the future who did have all of that, and what was she telling me to do? How could I connect with her and that guidance? What was I seeking in this life? And a lot of the time we think that material things will give us what we're looking for. And yeah, of course it's fun to have material items, but what is that feeling that you're searching for? You want that brand new sports car, but what is that brand new sports car going to grant you? With a feeling of satisfaction, relaxation, feeling cool? Okay, cultivate that yourself first. Cultivate that feeling of what it's going to be like sitting in that sports car. Find that feeling first, because I'm telling you, all the material stuff, the money, the fame, the objects, everything, that's a product of whatever you're cultivating inside. You want to be famous? Okay, be famous in your eyes. Like what Lady Gaga says, there's like that clip of her where she's like, before I was ever famous, no one knew who I was, but they wanted to know who I was by the way that I carried myself and by the way that I felt about myself. And that's exactly it, is don't wait for the world to grant you your wishes. You grant them yourself. You create them. You fulfill them. You find ways. I promise you, man, even if your external circumstances look like the opposite of the life that you're aspiring to live, if you continue to come back to that desire, you will continue to find the ways to bring it into your reality. If you continue to come back to that discipline and that love for yourself and your craft, even when it doesn't feel good, and you continue to commit to what it is that you want, nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can. Your passions and your strengths are uniquely yours. They're sitting in there for a reason, and it's about you coming back to them. There's a poem that I would love for you to listen to. It's called She's a Genius in Disguise. It's one of my favorite things I've ever written. It's the 9th poem on my spoken word poetry collection, and it's about kind of being so miserable in our reality, in our living situation, in our work, whatever, being insecure, having self-doubt, not really feeling like we're able to break out of that, but using those circumstances and finding that strength within us, within our gifts inside, to bring what we want to life, even alongside the darkness, alongside whatever is happening. If we can access that within ourselves, we are golden. And at the end of the day, you are the only one who can pinpoint what it is, that dream, that feeling that you're searching for, that you would like to experience, that dream that you have in your heart. You're the only one who knows that feeling. And there are going to be people that will help you bring it to fruition, and people you will meet along the way, and inspiration and understanding and knowledge as to how to do it. But you have that specific inkling and desire for a reason, and it's up to you to come back to that and to get familiar with it and to write it down and to affirm it to yourself over and over again, no matter what, because the only thing that is going to break what currently is having enough consistency to create anew. You cannot give up the first few times it doesn't feel good, or the first few times that nobody sees your post or your art, or when it's scary and embarrassing, or when someone makes fun of you, or taking a chance on yourself. You can't stop when it gets hard. You can't put it down when it doesn't feel good, when it's not immediately granting you that security. It's something that you must continue to believe in and to feed and to grow. When you feed that dream by committing to it, by making time for it, by committing to yourself, whatever it takes. Like for me, I knew that if I wanted to live this dream of traveling and putting my art into the world, then I must become familiar with what that feels like. I would imagine all the time what it felt like to be on a stage and to read my poetry. And like I said, I wasn't confident enough at a certain point to do that. So I had to get familiar. It didn't just come in my lab. I had to get familiar with, okay, what does it feel like to present myself to the world? How can I become that version of me that I'm seeing in my daydream? How can I talk like her, be like her? And like I said, it's not always pretty. Sometimes it literally will take seasons of time and breaking down what we once knew and what we once were to learn how to become something different and welcome in change. But be open to that journey. Allow the joy and the passion of your dream to be enough to come back to it, even when things don't look perfect, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's uncomfortable. Allow your dream to be enough to pull you back to that place over and over again. It's inside of you. If you don't see it out here, it is in here. Don't look out here. It's in here. And the more that you continue to come back to what's in here, the more it's going to show up out here, and it is amazing to witness. But it doesn't even feel crazy when it happens, because you're already familiar with it in your mind, in your heart, and everything will follow suit. Even if it doesn't feel like it will and it doesn't make sense, I promise you, make that one thing make sense. That's what I did whenever nothing made sense in my reality, and I was miserable and confused and had no idea how I was going to get out of the situations I was in. I just came back to the thing that I loved over and over again, which was YouTube, poetry, writing, expressing
con không biết thì
my
thôi, con không biết từ đấy thì thôi, không sao.
finding an understanding
Học xong.
of myself through a page or through an articulation. Like, that's what I love to do. Through my camera, I just found what I loved, what brought me passion as a young kid, even when I was so depressed and I had no idea, like, what could save me, I went back to that idea of what did I love to do? What did I care about? What do I care about? What would be my dream to spend my life doing? Hi there. Hi. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Have a good day.
He loves me. He loves me. He loves me not. I'm not going to do that because I want this flower to stay. What I'm trying to say is that there were times where what I wanted to be spending my time doing didn't make all the practical sense, and I had to prioritize other things while I was doing what I loved, but that was okay. If anything, like,
Con viết ở đây.
it was
Viết từ
great
money
because
đúng không?
I
Money là gì?
enjoyed it. You know, I would sustain my life
Tiền, không phải
when
tiền
I
á.
needed to, but
Khi
I
là
would
gì?
always come back
Khi là gì?
to that thing, to that place, to what brought me so much fulfillment. If there's any way that you can continue to prioritize it in your life,
Đấy, con
even if
điền
it's
mà.
small,
Con An là con gì?
and continuing to
An là
remind
gì?
yourself of that danger. And I remember working
Đấy thì con điền vào
my
đây.
retail job
Hiểu
and
chưa?
like just standing
Điền từ vào đấy. Con viết cái từ đấy vào.
with customers most of the time, but like there would be times where I would just be bored doing like menial tasks and stuff, and I would just be lost in my imagination of, oh my god, like this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna make this much money doing this thing while I'm folding something in a completely different atmosphere and environment. I like brought and channeled that excitement into what I was doing at my job, and then like I said, when you can channel that and you have that within you, and that's your energy, and that's how you carry yourself, and that's aligned with your dreams, it will show up on the outside. And if you can channel it into whatever it is that you're doing, it will just continue to show up more and more and more until maybe your dream does become your life and your fantasy is reality. It's, be careful what you wish for, because it's not as crazy as you think. It's really not. It's all just about a choice and being willing to make that choice and take that risk, and the risk of continuing to commit to yourself and what you love again and again. I just kind of wanted to clean up the dahlias and have them nice and trimmed, and there's a lot of little blossoms that are still going to continue to bloom throughout these next days, so I'm excited for my family to witness that as I'm gone, but I need to go get on the plane, so I'm gonna go, but I am so grateful that we had this chat this morning to start my day, and I hope that you are having a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever it is you're doing. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for being here, and never forget that we are on this journey together. Love you guys, see you soon, bye.
Everything is open when the goal is to experience. Cái này thôi cô. Một bài này nối bài điện tử. Sang ơi.
Chị em mượn nhà phòng một tí kiểm tra. Không, em ngồi dưới.
ổng bên cover.
I took it to me.
Rồi ok. Và bài khoách này A trên CD với làm hết bài này là xong. Là được về. Can you start? Ở bên phòng đối diện có cái tripod hay sao ấy? Chị không biết ở trên tầng 4 này, ở phòng đối diện tầng 4 hoặc tầng 5 có. Hoặc là em để vừa.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's her name? How old are you? Where are you from? Are you ready for the speaking test? How do you get to Motion City? What does communication mean? Communication means talking to someone. Communication means talking to someone, sending a message to someone, or exchanging ideas or feelings to someone. Okay, 3. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you talk to your friend? How? What's medium? How do you talk to your friend? Phone or emails or text messages. Good. Where did you travel? Where? Where did you go to? Where? I traveled to China. How are things different past, they used pills, paper, and ink to communicate. But now, they use phone to communicate. But now they use travel by car. They have to come to all the time. But now we travel by car. 2 weeks, or you continue?
Continue.
Continue. Are there some foreign students in your class in your school? Yes, there are. No, there aren't. Yes, there are. Okay. Do you sometimes visit another town? You sometimes visit another town? No. Are you staying only in Hanoi? Not even to a different town? Okay, so you don't travel. Okay. That is okay. So find the differences. Look at this picture differences and tell me. Find the difference between picture A and picture B. Picture 1 is like this. All the
Anh thật là nếu không ngồi đưa đây không?
Okay, this way to work. Holding and holding a ball. What else? I want to talk about the color of the sky. Yeah, yellow sky. Okay, that's in picture 2. Wow, well done. Okay, so describe the pictures. Part 3. Describe the pictures. Communication. They use a field, paper, and ink to write it. They use a phone. Presently, they use phone and PC or computer to stove. Or the past they
Yes,
used
it's down.
firewood. And now they use the stove to cook clothing. Big clothing. Efforts. Big clothing. Big clothing. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. Bye.
Rồi, có cái hào lên đây. Biết cái con là hào không? Cái hào lên.
Only once. I'm not doing that. Only once.
Mình không biết gì về cái con. Đúng rồi.
Okay, so let's cut. Did you observe it?
So, I think 50. How about that? Like the next time?
Yeah, he answered the door. He took the ball, he said, this is high, and tall. Yeah, that's, yeah, it's supposed to go. This time you write your name there.
Now, we didn't like it.
I read.
Teacher. And for students, they can have maximum 5 minutes to talk because we have a lot of students.
Students, yeah.
So we will not hurry to
Yeah.
5 minutes. 1, 2,
How old are you? Why not? Okay, so let's compare. How do you get to Ocean City? I go by bike, I travel by bike. Car, okay. What does communication mean? Communication is talking to someone. Communication is talking to someone or saying something to someone. 3. How do you communicate with your families and friends? How do you talk to your friend? Okay. Where did you travel? Have you traveled recently? Yes or no? Okay, so where did you travel to? Where did you travel to? Okay. How are things different now from long ago? How are things different now from long ago? Well, long ago, what did they use? Now, what do they use? So long ago, they used horse as a means of transportation. They traveled by horse. And now they travel by car. In the past, they used pills and ink to write letters. And now they use phone or send messages using phone or computer. And there's some foreign students in your class in the school. Yes or no? Okay, yes there are. Do you sometimes visit another town? Do you stay only in Hanoi or you go to different towns too? Okay, so you don't. Find the differences. Look at that picture difference and tell me about it. In picture 1. Is holding their bag. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of pictures. Communication. So communication in the past, they used filled ink and paper, but in present they use phone or computer. Transportation, what did they use in the past? They travel by, now, cooking. What did they use in cooking in the past? Firewood. And now they use stove. Clothing. Boots, big shoes, big clothing, apron, cap. And then in the present they wear trousers, sneakers with small clothing. But thank you. Thanks for your time. Goodbye. Okay.
Gọi là đối lên này.
The first one. Was it yeah? The first boy did the challenge. He didn't answer much questions. I don't know that it was tense or
So you can
just too small.
you can answer the question right.
Thank you.
In this one, I can hear you answer some ideas about it.
Yeah.
Not full.
Not full. Yeah. You just give me 13 minutes more.
Or maybe.
Oh, 10 is okay. 10 is this one. I'm not good at hearing back.
So I can give you 15.
15.
Yes. Just this one and half.
Yeah. He has the idea, but he likes the vocabulary to express himself.
Yes, like it. And sometimes he answer, he doesn't follow the grammar structure.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep my mind. And how about the part?
Which one will be?
He can.
Yeah, he expressed himself, but just like you know, the structure wasn't too okay. So let's give him 30. Oh, that's 5. Yeah, that's 5. Yeah, that's 5.
How about the last one?
Yeah, 40. Let's give him 40. Yeah, vocabulary. Yeah. And yet, you really want to hear advice from me. Yeah.
Because the question how to communicate,
Yeah.
you have all the answer right, but it's not focused.
Yeah. Because we've already did it. We just did it before coming here. We went through before starting. So at least I'm expecting them to. I'm not expecting them to travel out. I'm just expecting the ideas to be flowing. But there's one of questions. Okay, please start.
Nah, yuk, dan lagi dia kan.
Alright.
Ya, betul. Mọi sự cái này bắt đầu là
Rất đọc đây.
cao.
Không biết chị không dùng.
Okay. Are you ready? this piece of paper. We adjust the spots with paper. Paper here, paper there, for it to balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hello. How are you today? What's today? Where are you from? Okay. Are you ready for the speaking test? Okay. How do you get to Washington City? Okay, by train. What does communication mean? It means talking to someone or talking to your friend or expressing yourself, saying something to someone, right? That is communication. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you talk to them? How do you talk to their family? Your mom, your brother, how do you talk to them? How do you talk to them? So how do you talk to your mom? Or your friend? How do you talk to them? Text messages, emails, phone calls. Okay. Where did you travel? Where did you travel recently? To England. I traveled to England. I traveled to England. How are things different now from long ago? How are things different now from long ago? So, in the past, they used pills, ink, and paper to communicate, but now they use phones and computer. In the past, they used horses to travel, but now they use cars to travel. Good. Are there some foreign students in your class? Yes, there are. Do you sometimes visit another town? Have you gone out of Vietnam before? Out of Hanoi before? Sorry. Have you gone out of Hanoi before? Okay. So talk about the beta difference. In picture 1. Under the tree. Picture 1. Kangaroo. Child. Describe the pictures. So in communication, the past what did they use to communicate? They use bills, ink, and paper. At present, what do they use to communicate? In the past, what do they use as medium of transport? Good. Present. What about cooking in the past? They used firewood to cook in the past. jeans, apron, big boots, but now they wear trousers or jeans. Sneakers. Yes. Thank you for your time. Wonderful. Okay. Bye.
Gọi cho thầy chi đúng không?
Dạ.
Bạn cho thầy con một thầy con là chi ạ? Áo vàng. Còn mình gọi vào đây lúc nào? I go downstairs and they...
Okay, so let's start, Sarah. What do you think?
I don't listen.
You didn't listen. Yeah? Okay, you have sense-minded.
You can use drama.
Yeah, he tried his best, though. He tried his best. Let's give him 15. Okay. Victoria. Yeah. Yes.
So we find out 3 different.
And it's hard to solve. Okay, so here let's give him 35.
He's not really fluent to me.
Yeah, fluency. Yeah, the fluency isn't there. And he lacks confidence too.
How? Đây là con tên. Con tên
I
là
don't know whether he was scared to talk. You see,
Yes, he is a little bit shy.
shy. Yeah, can you see it?
shy.
Tên con là tiếng con là nghe
Ở đây em có hai quả của mình.
Yeah.
đó.
Yeah, what's the name?
My name is me.
Me. Yeah. What's the name?
Mạnh Tiến.
Mấy bạn nhỉ? 5 bạn nữa.
Bảo cô 2 phút rồi.
2 phút thì cái bài này hơi dài.
Thế á?
Và cái bài là kiểm tra của Discovery các bạn. Okay.
Và thu sau.
Hello. How is it? What's the name? Okay. I went for the speaking test. Let's start. How do you get to Ho Chi Minh City? Excellent. What does communication mean? Good. How do you communicate with your friends and family? Brilliant. Why did you travel? Traveled to America. How are things different from long ago to now? From now to long ago, what are the differences? How are things different? understanding pictures. Sense of communication from the past to the present. So in the past, what did they use to communicate? In the past, they used bills, ink, and letters to communicate. Now in the present, communicates. What about transportation? Okay. Firewood. To stove. To cook. Clothing.
Gọi cho thầy bạn bên cạnh con nhé.
I'm really impressed. Yeah.
You can ask all the questions.
Yeah.
If
And it's very calm too. You see how calm it is? It has done very well. I'm really impressed.
Maybe this one is one.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
He is the fastest.
Oh, in the last.
No.
That's my
He did his chest.
Oh yeah. So far. So far. Great job. Are you ready? Yes. You talk about
One, two.
hello. How are you today? I'm happy. What's your name? How are you? Are you ready for the speaking test? Okay. How do you get to go to City? How do you get to Washington City? How? By? Good. So I get to Washington City by car. Good. Two. What does communication mean? What is the meaning of communication? Talking to someone. Communication is talking to someone or someone, okay? Or saying something to someone, or expressing your views, feelings, or ideas to someone. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you talk to your mom, your siblings? How do you talk to your friend? How do you talk to them? What do you use? Phone, right? O, U, to? When they travel by motorbike, where did we go to? Where? I went to. Okay. How are things different now from long ago? How are things different now from long ago? In the past, they traveled by horse, and now,
24 tháng 7 là ngày
in
quốc
the
khánh
past,
của
what did they do?
Mỹ à? Independence hay là ngày 4 tháng 7 cái ngày quốc
They
khánh Hoa Kỳ,
write letters,
sinh nhật nước Mỹ này.
and now, they use computers and phones to send messages. Are there some foreign students in your classroom in your school? Question 6. Are there some foreign students in your class in your school? Yes, there are. Oh, there are. Oh. Do you sometimes visit another town? Have you gone out of Hanoi before? Yes.
Tối nay có bão không mình?
Okay. So let's look at the picture.
Chị có tối nay chị có nên đi cà phê không?
Find the differences.
Sợ mưa bão đấy nhỉ?
In the first picture,
Mưa bất chợt đấy. Nó ra một cái đúng không? Xong nó lại nắng to, bao hoàng hôn đẹp mà mỡ gà kiểu sunset. Nhưng mà lúc đấy là nó mưa kiểu theo đợt và theo từng vùng nó ra ấy. Tại vì chị thấy ở đây mưa trước, Hà Đông của Thượng Mã mới mưa. Cầu giấy đúng rồi.
this is the color of the sky. The sky is yellow. The sky is pink and white. Good. Oh, that's cute. How do you describe the pictures? In the past, what did they use to communicate? They used letters, ink and quilts to communicate. But presently, what do they use? Phone and word. In the past, what did they use as a means of transport? Horse. Presently, what do they use? Car. In the past, what did they use to cook? She really answered this, and she understood the question, but sometimes expressing herself was a little
So I think
yeah. Which I told she didn't know.
so.
The translation.
And how about the last one? Still have 4 more students. Tên gì vậy? Này, rồi, đi tên mình vào đây là
And some new students, and that's not all. There's not of it. So I need to have be patient with you. Despite everything
the
understand.
weakest
Yeah.
because he's the youngest.
Oh, I see.
All the students 1 or 2 age more.
Older. I ready?
So 1, 2, 3, start.
Hello. How are you today? Huh? I'm good. What's your name? What's your name? Mine. How old are you? Huh? 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. How old are you? Huh? Okay, so let's start. Let's get started. How do you get to Ho Chi Minh City? How do you get to Ho Chi Minh City? By motorbike. Good job. What does communication mean? What does communication mean? Talk, right? Talking to someone or say something. That is communication. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you talk to your brother, mother? How? Right? How do you communicate? Phone, right? You use phone. Phone. iPhone. Wow, you have an iPhone. Oh, wow. Good. Where did you travel? Where did you travel? Where did you travel? Ho Chi Minh? Where did you travel? England, America? Okay. So how are things different from now? Comparing it to the past. How are things different from the past to now? In terms of transportation, in the past, what did we use to transport? Or what means? What is it? Horse. We travel by horse. Good. But now we travel by What is this? Para. Now travel by para. In the past we wrote letters, right? Letters. But now we use phone and computer or laptop. Are there some foreign students in your class? Yes or no? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Do you sometimes visit another town? Yes or no? No. So you're always in Hanoi. Okay. Talk about the picture difference. Find the differences in picture one. What is this? In picture one. Yes, yellow snake is on the tree. That's in picture two. Yellow, it's still yellow, but the snake is under the tree. Okay, let's look at this. Another picture difference. In picture one, the sky is yellow. Okay. And in picture two, the sky is what color is this? Pink. 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 Good. In picture one, what animal is this? Bear. There's a bear by the lake. But in picture two, what animal is this? Kangaroo. There's a kangaroo by the lake. Describe the pictures using past and present in terms of communication. So in the past, what did they use to communicate? What is this? Felt, ink, and paper. So in the past, they used felt, ink, and paper to write letters. But now they use phone. iPhone, you have no particular on the iPhone. And computer to communicate. That's not to transport. In the past, what did they use to travel? To travel by cars. By now, we travel by car. In the past, what did they use to cook? Firewood. Firewood. And then now we use stove to cook. Stove to cook. What did they wear in the past? Big shoes and boots. And now they wear sneakers. Now we wear sneakers, jeans, and small clothes. Thank you for your time. Another high five. Good. Goodbye.
Gọi cho thầy bạn cái con này, gọi cho thầy cái anh cái con. Dạ. Gọi anh đi đây, anh đi đây. It's okay. He is not doing bad.
Yeah, let's try this first.
He's trying his best. So, part one, the difficult question, like, what is communicate?
Yeah. Obviously, he can't answer. Yeah. But at least he tried to express himself.
Yes.
So let's give him 10.
Maybe just about part two. But thank you.
He was more particular about the colors, but he couldn't say snake, he couldn't say the names of the animals.
He spot out the difference.
Yeah.
But
Using the
but-
colors.
Yes.
I couldn't identify the object's name.
Yeah, but because that is because he's like
Yeah. So what should we do then?
So because for now we cannot tell what
So yeah.
so I can give you
And then the last one, the last time you match up, okay. I have much of the time, so can you move it to see? Oh, that's fine. think they're looking for the last word. We can divide the section into two. Another family. Interest for the next batch. How many students are there in all?
There are 2 left.
Only 2. Okay, then I'll finish.
E, and 2 left.
Oh, you let's finish it.
And the 2 last students, I think they are
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
great.
yeah. I remember those
The
two.
girl,
yeah,
and the
boy.
boy.
Yeah.
They are doing great, so I think it will be
Good,
good.
yes,
Fast.
yes, yes. Fast. Are you ready?
3, 2,
These are
1.
okay with you.
Eating breakfast.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Eating up.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1, start.
Hello, hi, today. And what's the name? How old are you? Great. Are you ready for the speaking test? Okay, let's start. Let's get started. How do you get to Ho Chi Minh City? What does communication mean? Talking to someone. Communication means talking to someone or expressing yourself or saying something to someone. Okay. How do you communicate with your friends and family? By? How do you communicate with them? How do you talk to your mom, a friend? Hello? Do you use a phone? Or SMS, text message, Facebook, emails? How do you talk to your family and your friends? Email, okay. Where did you travel? Where? To China. I traveled to China. How are things different now from long ago? How are things different from now? Long ago. So, in the past, what did they do? They traveled by. But now, okay, in the past they wrote letters as a means of communication, but now we use phones and computers to communicate. Are there some foreign students in the class? Yes, there are. Do you sometimes visit another town? Do you sometimes visit another town? Have you gone out of Hanoi before? Different towns? Sure you have. Okay, find the differences. In which one? What is Spain? Tree. Two. Fancy. Two. And which one? So and what is there? What else? The sky is still low. Which one? Holding air. That's what you two. Let's find the pictures. Communication. In the past, what did they use to communicate? Bills, ink, and paper to write letters, right? At present, what do we use to communicate? What is this? big boots, big shoes, and apron. And now we wear jeans or trousers, sneakers, and small clothes. Maybe for the time. Not very well, but okay. Goodbye.
Gọi cho thầy thì anh lên này. Các bạn to to á, bên cạnh con ấy. Dạ, tiếp ở đây đúng không?
Yeah.
How is word used?
Yeah, he tried his best. He used a little vocabulary he knew to express himself.
So, past tense I can and about the second one.
He tried his best. Yeah, he tried his best. What's the name? Yeah, all this stuff. Last one's here. What's it called? Oh, that's
Tiếng Anh, tiếng Anh, ở đây.
Hôm nay lúc này mấy giờ xong ấy?
Đã.
8 giờ
10 rưỡi.
10 rưỡi.
Đây, đi lên đây.
Are you ready? Yes.
Đi nha. Good. 3, 2, 1, stop.
Hello. How is today? Okay, what's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? Are you ready for the test? Okay, let's get started. How do you get to Washington City? Good. What does communication mean? Or you know, or talking to someone, right? Or saying something to someone. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How do you talk to your friend? Okay, good. Where did you travel? Where? To where? Where exactly did you go? Oh, to China. So I traveled to China by plane. I traveled to China by plane. How are things different now from long ago? How are things different now from long ago? So long ago, travel by bus. And now, long ago, words and letters. To communicate to friends and family. That is a great job. High five, high five, high five. Good, let's continue. Are there some foreign students in your class? Yes, there are. Do you sometimes visit another town? Okay, yes, I do. Picture difference. Take picture one. That's it. Wow. Now describe your pictures. In terms of communication, the past and the present. So, in the past, what did we use to communicate? And now, present. Excellent. How about transportation in the past?
People travel by horse, and present people travel by car.
The past, okay.
In the past, people
Use firewood.
use firewood, and present people use stove. In the past, people buy,
People were big.
big shoes in hot. And present people use shoes in
Amazing. Everybody. Good. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye.
Or is it 1 minute?
Tell the girls to come fast, okay? Make it fast and smart.
I can guess that he has very confident. And his word, he using the word, he using the right grammar structure. Okay.
The girls is very good.
Student is also very good.
Really smart. Smart girl.
No, I'm glad we let the smartest student in class last. So it'll feel very fast at the end.
Để các bạn ta lên xong cả một vẫn còn à?
Còn một alo ạ. Đây một chút đây, đang này trong cái quả sữa đây.
Hello. How are you? Which one is it? I'm sitting here. Are you ready?
One, two, three.
Hello. How are you? What's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? Are you ready for the speaking test? Okay, let's get started. How do you get to go to UCT? Great. What does communication mean? So what does it mean? Talking to someone. How do you communicate with your friends and family? How? How do you talk to them? How do you use to talk to your family? How do you use? So where did you travel? To China. I traveled to China. things different now from long ago? Okay, the past that is about communication. And now,
Anh cho mấy đứa kia xuống cho.
are there some coincidence in the class? Yes, there are. Okay. Did you sometimes visit another town? No. Let's talk about the picture difference. Holding. By your leg. Describe the pictures in terms of communication, the past and present. To communicate. To communicate. They use firewood. Firewood to cook. At present they use stove. Stove to cook. Clothing. Of clothes, jeans. Amazing. Another high five. So, okay, then. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Rồi, có số tầm các sách vở đi. Đi về rồi. Để bảo các bạn đi về, đi xuống đi, xuống đi.
Food. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As usual.
Chị ơi, em rằng một cái file nào không nhỉ? Để em một cái file nào nhé. Ghét để lại cho chị lên.
Mày hỏi cái viên ở dưới tầng 1. Chị biết ra được.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Sarah. Em thấy cái tên tiếng Anh của chị mới nghĩ ra nó gần đây thôi.
Là Sarah.
Trước chị tại vì nhá, chị tên là Hiên Su, cái nick Hiên Su ấy, em tra kể cả tất cả các bạn xã hội đều ra tên chị luôn. Nhưng mà chị thấy chị đã theo nó từ 2016 đến bây giờ là 10 năm.
Đổi tên đúng không?
Không, chưa đổi tên, chị vẫn dùng Hiên Su thôi, nhưng mà ít người biết chị tên tiếng Anh của chị á. Mọi người vẫn gọi chị là
Nghe mấy cô chào Sarah mới lạ lạ.
Miss Sarah.
Đây là tên chị cũng dễ đọc.
Hiên Su á.
Hiên dễ đọc mà.
Hiên.
Tên giống Hiên, tên em Minh dễ đọc.
Dễ đọc nhỉ? M-I-N-H.
Cũng chẳng phải đặt đấy.
Đúng rồi.
Chính ra kể cả có nhầm họ cũng đã học võ hát này đọc thành Min.
Mint. Tờ.
Min hoặc là từ Min.
Nghe hay mà. Nhưng mà tên chị người ta cũng đọc đúng nha. Mấy ông đọc đúng.
Tên đấy là tên em cũng dễ đọc mà nhiều mà không đúng. Mà những người là giáo viên nước ngoài mà họ ở Việt Nam 1-2 năm rồi.
Thì người ta biết.
Trừ phi là những người mới đến thì nó sẽ hơi lạ lạ.
Chả
Thì
thấy
là
à?
họ phát âm nhầm tên em này Bạc Hà.
Hay phết. Minh Bạc Hà. Chiều nay em định làm gì? Tối nay em định làm gì?
Nay không phải sẽ có điểm nữa.
Sướng. Free.
Free là cảm giác tự do, em có thêm thời gian.
Thời gian á, chị đang nghĩ bây giờ có 3 option nhá, mình thử nghĩ xem như nào hay nhất. Hoặc là đến một quán cà phê học bài, hoặc là đi ăn lẩu và hoặc là đi xem Minion. Em chọn cho chị một trong ba, hoặc chị sẽ làm cả ba.
Nhưng mà mấy cái hoạt động kia là chị có đi cùng với ai không? Hay là chị đi cùng mình?
Chị đang nghĩ đi một mình hay đi với bạn. Bạn thì chị có 1-2 đứa thân với chị thôi.
Nếu mà
Chúng nó cũng rảnh cuối tuần.
Nếu mà chị đi xem Minion hoặc đi ăn lẩu mà kiểu có bạn bè rảnh thì em suggest là đi bonding với các bạn.
Ừ.
Năm nào đi với bạn bè cũng vui hơn đi cùng mình.
Chắc chắn rồi.
Chưa?
Chắc
Thế
chắn.
là em với chị cũng học cái được nhiều nên giải trí. Giải stress.
Dạ,
Đi
chị
ăn
rất-
cũng được hoặc là
Tối nay không, tối nay là ăn lẩu với nhau rồi, nhưng mà chị đang nghĩ là sau đó chị sẽ tan nhóm đi cà phê một mình hay là chị đi xem Minion cho đỡ buồn. Đợt này chị sắp burn out.
xem phim được, xem Minion được.
Ừ.
Em chưa xem thử như nào đâu, em thấy quảng cáo suốt.
Nhờ.
Cái gì ngân hàng cứ là quảng cáo nữa ấy. Hết trên mạng xong rồi cứ mở app ngân hàng là quảng cáo là dùng tài khoản ngân hàng sẽ được giảm bao nhiêu tiền khi đặt vé.
Minion á.
Đúng rồi.
Bình thường em xem ở rạp nào?
Em xem ở trên quốc gia.
À em hay xem ở rạp đấy à? Ừ, rạp đấy gần nhà em mà.
Bên nhà em. Hoặc
Nhà-
là nếu mà em ở trường mà em chán em sẽ chạy sang cái rạp VH này.
VHD á?
Nhưng hình như có cái rạp đấy nó ở trên chỗ Vincom ấy.
VHD đấy.
Nó là- Em chưa thấy bao giờ có cái đợt mà nó còn chiếu phim Mưa Đỏ ấy, bạn em nó đi học xong rồi nó cứ chuồn ra nó xem, xong rồi trường em cũng
Đáng yêu.
tổ chức mua vé cho xem cái đấy luôn.
Đáng yêu vậy. Chị đang không biết rồi chiều tối nay làm gì, nhưng mà đôi khi chị thấy cuối tuần dành một ngày một mình cũng hay.
Nghỉ ngơi, gọi là mình
Reset à?
năng lượng, sạc lại năng lượng.
Ừ.
Được, ngày-
Sao em có thể làm full tuần được vậy? Chị phải có một ngày chủ nhật, không chị chết.
Em vẫn có ngày- em có một buổi.
Là em nghỉ một buổi cuối tuần hay em nghỉ kiểu các ngày buổi tối rảnh hoặc các sáng rảnh ở trong tuần?
Em là em sẽ có những cái buổi nó rảnh, tức là nó có nghỉ trong buổi chứ em không nghỉ cả ngày. Sẽ sắp xếp làm sao để mình nghỉ cả ngày. Đợt thứ nếu mỗi lần nghỉ xếp lịch thứ 7 chủ nhật toàn phải làm sáng làm tối mình cũng chết rồi.
Bye bye Minh nha.